Walk in the Park Day, and we learn more about Texas state parks. We talk to business owners of We Olive and Wine Bar and celebrate Procrastination Day by finally getting around to posting a clip we took for Good Samaritan Day a couple of weeks ago.
What's up, Tejas? I'm here today with Justin Rhodes. He's the Deputy Director of Texas Parks and Wildlife State Parks Division. Justin, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, you bet. Glad to be on.
So we wanted to interview you because National Walk in the Park Day is coming up. And I don't know if you had heard about that before, have you?
I have. I'm not too familiar with it, but yes, it is on my radar.
So I just wanted to know a little bit about you before we get started talking about the parks. So can you tell me a little bit about what you do in your role?
Yeah, you bet. Now, unfortunately, I spend a lot of time sitting behind a desk, but I have been with the agency for over 20 years, and I did start out in the field and have had the opportunity to work in some beautiful parks across our state park system. And for the last 2 years, I've been here in Austin working out of our headquarters building, serving as the State Parks Division Deputy Director. So my job's a little bit of everything from operations to legislative inquiries to answering complaints and responding to compliments. So it's all over the board, really what my job is, and that's one of the reasons I love it. But ultimately, you still get to serve the mission, which is why we're all here.
Yeah. And so are you originally from Texas?
I am, yeah. I grew up in a small town in East Texas, Rusk, just south of Tyler. So I grew up here in Texas.
So what about the state parks? So National Walk in the Park Day is coming up, and I recently visited Inks Lake State Park, which was amazing.
Yes.
But how many state parks are there in Texas?
Well, Inks Lake is one of 88 that we have in our system, and guys from down in the valley to up in the Panhandle, you have a wide variety of parks and ecosystems to go visit.
Question: what determines a state park?
What determines a state park? Well, there's several factors. Across our country, we have an amazing state park system, and here in Texas, of the 88 parks. You look back in history, and some parks were given to us, land was donated, some that we strategically purchased. The Connolly bonds were an avenue to add several parks back to our system, Governor Connolly. So what determines it? One, it's a special place. You mentioned Inks Lake a moment ago. It's easy to visit Inks Lake and know why that's a state park. It's beautiful. When we go out and try to find new parks or add new park to the system, you're looking for a special place, a place that you walk into and instantly know and get that special feeling, a special resource, whether it be a natural resource or a cultural resource, something that makes it unique.
Great. And so what's your favorite state park, and why is it your favorite?
You can't ask me that. Somebody's going to see this and I'm going to get in trouble.
Okay, fine. What's the last state park you visited?
That's the canned answer that I've used before. But we all have a bias when it comes to our favorite. But so many do different things. I could talk for hours about Big Bend Ranch State Park. It's out there, neighbors the national park, and it's just a beautiful isolation. And from the epic bike and hike trails out there to the long distance. It's a special place to be. But then on the other side of the state, you have parks like Brazos Bend with 30 plus miles of hiking and biking trails. And it's like a zoo without the bars, I like to say, a zoo without the cages. Just wildlife is abundant. But I could go around the state talking about parks. I could spend hours talking about the parks that I've worked in throughout my career. They all have special memories of not only work, but my family being in those parks. So it's really hard to say. As I mentioned earlier, I could spew off information about all the sites, and they all have unique features and things where I've connected, and I think many can share that feeling.
Okay.
Did I do a good job avoiding answering your question?
Absolutely.
Good.
But I mean, I'm pretty sure each state park, like you said, they're all unique and they have something really amazing to offer. So it would be hard to pick just one. My goal is to go to all of the state parks. I would say maybe within 2 years. So let's see if I could do that. Do you have any tips for viewers prior to when they go and visit a state park?
Yeah, my number one tip, especially what we're seeing in the pandemic, is check availability. Parks have been in demand. I've seen an increased demand for folks to get outdoors during these times, and parks do eventually hit a capacity, and you can only safely fit so many people into a small area, and two, you get to a point where you're impacting the resources if you have too many people. So parks do have capacity limits. We've had them before the pandemic, and we realized them much more during the pandemic. So that's my number one tip is get online, go to a reservation system, and make sure there's availability. And that's just an easy, convenient way to do it. You can just grab your iPhone, go to our webpage, and that way you're guaranteed a spot when you show up at Inks Lake next time you go to visit. Because even Inks on our busy days will hit capacity and sell out.
Yeah. Did you say grab your iPhone?
Yeah, grab your iPhone and make a reservation.
Or your Android.
Or your Android, yes, absolutely. Grab your mobile device, I should say.
Yeah. I'm just saying because I'm an Android user, so I just had to throw that out there.
Yeah. We're team Android at this side.
Were you going to say something, Jenny?
I do have a question. So I don't
Yes.
know if you watched the TV show with Kevin Costner, Yellowstone.
I've seen a few
You've
episodes.
seen a few episodes.
Yes, yeah.
So it's a big deal in that episode that for ranches to kind of like preserve their ranch space to turn parts of the ranch into state park. Does this really happen?
With a ranch turning into a state park?
Yeah, turning some of their land into a state park to kind of build, and I forgot what that term is, to build basically a buffer between any developers and their ranch.
Well, I can't say we had that specific instance where a landowner is wanting to just build a buffer between development and their private ranch, but ranches have converted into to state parks. I mean,
Really? So that's true. Okay.
Oh well, yeah. Big Bend Ranch. It's one of the largest in our system, and it was formerly an active cattle operation.
Oh, wow.
That
Okay.
park.
Okay. Well, kudos to Kevin Costner and team. That's like legit.
What about, there's like the rule where you're supposed to like leave the park like better than you left it or something like that.
That's right. That's just a standing conservation practice. Leave no trace is I believe what you're referencing. And then that's the practice of when you go somewhere to visit, the next person shows up and it looks just as pristine, and that you leave it looking better than you found it.
Yeah.
So that's huge. And you asked about some other rules and regulations in parks. So another common, I don't want to call it a problem, but a lot of times folks come out and bring their pets, and and not maybe prepared to have their pet there for a day. And unfortunately, in the summertime, we see a lot of pet-related deaths from heat, lack of water, dehydration. So I would also advise new visitors when they're coming out to the park and they want to bring their pet, which who doesn't? One, just have your leash, but two, I guess pets do need to remain on leash in state parks, but two, just be prepared to take care of your pet just like you would anybody else, because they can get hot in a hurry.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I was actually going to ask you about that. But I do have another question about another animal, snakes. I have heard snakes, especially right now, are a big problem. So can you tell us a little bit about that and how you can maybe avoid a snake, or what do you do when you see a snake?
Yeah. Snakes do start coming out this time of year, more prevalent for sure. And if you're out on the trail or out even at your campsite and you see one, the number one thing to do is just nothing. Just step back and let it be on its way. Unless you're poking it or getting too close to a snake, they're not going to be aggressive. So if you're out hiking a trail and you see one crossing the trail, you just stop, and that snake will more than likely continue crossing that trail. Just give it its space. Where we tend to see folks having problems is at night. For example, if you're walking to the restroom and don't have a flashlight, potentially step on one on a trail or even going down the road. So I would recommend that if you are doing an overnight trip, as you're moving around the park, to always have your flashlight on to help make sure that doesn't happen.
Good advice.
Work on some operation plans to adjust for the pandemic, and then we were back open, and we gradually have increased our occupancy levels back to pre-pandemic levels, and so now we are again fully open in state parks. No, there's still a few exceptions out there. I mean, we still have a site that's been impacted was impacted heavily from the winter storm it recently had. That's still opening back, in the process of opening back up. But for the most part, our system's back open at 100%.
Did y'all go wrap all the trees for the winter storm?
Do we wrap all the trees? Unfortunately, no. But most of our natives did fine throughout the freeze. We did lose some in some sites just due to the ice and breaking the limbs and some trees falling over. But overall, the tree mortality was rather low.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Do state parks rely on donations? I'm assuming that y'all do. I'm not really familiar with that, and I'm sure that a lot of our viewers don't really know about that either. And if y'all do, how can people donate, and are there also volunteer opportunities?
Yeah, great questions, and thanks for asking. I'll start out with volunteers. My gosh, they do so much for Texas state parks, and we couldn't operate without them. I mentioned earlier we have roughly 1,400 employees, and our volunteers almost double that number. Wow. They do so much for us, from actually staying in the park. We have what we call park hosts, so people that are there overnight volunteering and helping with late night check-in to keeping the restrooms clean at night. I mean, you name it, they do it. But then we have thousands of volunteers across the system that are just coming up for the day to do various projects. From our Texas Master Naturalists, they do so much for us. I mean, just go down the list of great projects that our volunteers are accomplishing throughout our system. And it's easy to volunteer in a state park. One, you could just visit, talk to the park superintendent, and they can get you signed up. But we also have a volunteer coordinator that works down the hall from me, and you can jump on the website and just Google how to become a Texas State Park volunteer and find out pretty quick how to get signed up. Donations, the donations are another key element to our operation, and Texans and folks from all over have been very generous with giving to Texas state parks. From the vehicle registration, I'm not sure if you ever noticed, but when you go to renew your license plate of your vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck no. But now,
No,
check
I'm
yes.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I checked yes. I just haven't because I'm like, oh, $1? Yeah, sure, why not?
Well, now I will. Now that I've met you and I have a face, I would be like, I'm helping Justin and his team out.
That's right. Well, that money goes directly to support your Texas state parks. It's an easy way to donate. It comes around, well, depending on how many vehicles you have, once a year, and it's so easy to check that box. And it's a $5 donation, but that money goes to an account. It comes right back to parks to help support operations. But we actually get a lot more donations through people just dropping money in the donation boxes in the park. And there's also avenues on our website to donate if folks want to go online and donate through our foundation. Or even you could even call a park and make a donation if you'd like to. But that money is protected funds and goes directly back into park operations just to make them to improve the visitor experience. That's our goal.
Awesome. And is there anything that state parks that y'all are looking for right now? Volunteers, I'm guessing, are always in demand. But is there anything else? Are y'all hiring right now?
Yeah, that's appreciate you bringing that up too as well. We are going to our busy season, and we're actively hiring our seasonal employees at the moment. And those are, you call them summer jobs, but we put folks to work in the spring as well. And part-time positions that generally end at the end of the summer, but a lot of openings right now across the system. So again, if you just go to our website, there's a big jobs button up there you can push and see the availability.
Awesome. And is there anything else that you want to share with our viewers?
Yeah, just get out and see us. If you've never been to a state park, now's a great time to come. You don't have to be a professional in the outdoors to enjoy a state park. There's adventures for everyone, whether you want to go to Big Bend and go on a 50-mile epic bike ride, or if you want to go to Paladera Canyon and hike a short trail. There's something out there for everyone.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Justin, for joining us today. And for our viewers, we want to know what state park you're planning on visiting for Walk in the Park Day, and what's your favorite park? What's up, Tejas? We're here at We Olive and Wine Bar with Amber and Luis Rabo. Thanks for having us today.
We're so happy to have you.
Yeah, this is actually my first time coming in here, and I don't know why I haven't been in here before because I'm actually y'all's neighbor, but I will definitely be back. Y'all have so much great stuff. Y'all have a lot of local products from different, vendors. Y'all have y'all's olive oil. Y'all have wine, which is awesome. I wore my wine shirt today. But I just wanted to know a little bit about how did y'all get started? What's y'all's story? I know that y'all both went to University of Houston, so are y'all Houstonians? And why did you choose this area? I know that's like a loaded question, but I just want to know everything. I'm so excited.
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I grew up here in Houston the majority of my life. We both went to U of H, and that's where Amber and I met. We had always talked about owning our own business one day, so we saved, and we kept on saving, and we stumbled upon this concept that really combines really both of our passions, which is one, cooking, because I love to cook, and then two, drinking wine, and Amber really loves to drink wine. So that's kind of the impetus of where it started, and we chose the Heights because one, we live in the neighborhood. We're very close to the store, and it's just a place that we really just kind of fallen in love with, and we love our neighbors, the neighborhood, the fellow street owners. So we're just so fortunate, and in a couple months we will be open for 4 years. So
Oh, wow.
it's been
Wow.
great.
That's a while. And you know what? I don't know if everybody that's watching this, I'm pretty sure that y'all haven't all visited this area, but they are on a really great street. It's 19th Street here in the Heights. And it's a very busy street, especially on the weekends. So when do y'all see the most customers?
I definitely Saturdays are a busy day. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays are really the busiest days for us, and that's where you see a lot of traffic as far as foot traffic goes that are walking around, and especially now as people are starting to kind of get out and about. Now you will see a lot more foot traffic and folks coming in. There's also some new developments, some apartments that are opening up in like within a few blocks from us. So that's we're looking forward to introducing a whole bunch of new people to We Olive.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a great opportunity to get some more foot traffic in here. But what were you going to say, Amber?
The other thing that I was going to add that typically happens kind of on that Thursday through Sunday time frame is when we do special events and live music that just draws people in from off the street sometimes if they're just walking around shopping, or planned events like we do. We have one on Sunday that it's wine and painting.
Ooh.
And or we did Girl Scout cookie pairing just a few weeks ago,
that
and so
sounds fun.
oftentimes those are on the weekends as well.
Oh, awesome. Oh my gosh, I have to like come to one of those.
Yeah, it's so fun.
So during the pandemic, did y'all see, or how did y'all have to kind of pivot for the pandemic? I saw that y'all have y'all's outside area, and I don't think that was out there all the time. So was that one of the things that y'all had to do because of the pandemic?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we it was rough, and we had to basically the name of our concept is We Olive and Wine Bar, the olive oil experience. And part of the olive oil experience was having everything out and available to taste. And we had to take that away because of COVID. And so that was one of our real draws, I think, is that people could come in. They didn't have to necessarily interact with one of our associates if they wanted to taste some olive oil. They could pour themselves a little bit of olive oil or taste a jam or jelly or sauce that we had. When COVID happened, all that went away. But we were able to make some adjustments. We went to sampling upon request, and so that was an additional step. But if someone really wanted to taste something, we wanted to make sure we had that available to them. Luckily, our landlord, once the city of Houston allowed for the use of expanding our dining room space into the parking lot, our landlord allowed us to do that. So we're grateful and thankful for that, and that's been a real help to our business. And we still kind of I think one of the things that we made a conscious effort of doing was actually spacing our tables 6 feet apart.
Following all the protocols.
Yes.
Very, very careful.
Yeah.
And so we've been to places where there's a sign there that says, don't sit here, and sometimes people found their way to sit there, and so we actually took chairs and tables away from us, which for a place like ours, that's not a good thing to take away tables and chairs, but I felt like that was what we needed to do to maintain the safe environment where customers kind of felt, our guests felt that we were safe, and we were doing everything we could to maintain that safe environment where they could still kind of enjoy the glass of wine, or come in and shop.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
go ahead.
I was just going to say something else that was really interesting to us too is that prior to the pandemic, you would find our bar area to be very lively, lots of wine being served and consumed here. And during the course of the pandemic, what we found is that the olive oil sales really went up. And so that's what we began to push more, because clearly people were staying home, they're cooking more.
Yes.
And so that was another bit of an adjustment for us in terms of the way our business had traditionally been performing. but a good thing, you know, and one that I think really benefited people and where they were at that point in time.
Yeah. And I also saw that y'all have a lot of like local products. Like I see a honey place that I know I saw at a farmer's market recently. So how do y'all find those vendors to put into your store?
Yeah.
It's a combination of, I guess, one, just being out and about and noticing a need or a desire to support local. And so when you have that desire, you're trying to find those vendors that are local. And then two, it's from fellow local vendors. They also may carry another local product, or they may have a lead to somewhere that's local. So I think that's how we really kind of created or tried to support local. Not all, like, yes, there's Houston local, which is like hyper local,
Right.
and then there's like Texas local.
Yeah.
So we've got some Texas products as well, and that's
Yeah.
from at least once a year we go to Fredericksburg to find new things
Yeah.
and check out what's out there and what we can get here in Houston.
But we are super committed to having products that you can't find, like at HEB and everywhere else across the city, and to really be able to, support small businesses. Occasionally we'll have folks just come in the door and be like, hey, I have this little bitty business, this is our concept.
Yeah.
We taste it, and we're like, wow.
Yeah.
Get totally excited in the most random ways by people that we just kind of interact with in the community or that come in the door.
Yeah, that's awesome. It sounds like it's almost like a tourist attraction too. Like if people are looking for that really unique item that they might not find anywhere else, like this is the place to come.
Good for gifts, yes.
So tell me a little bit about your olive oil too. I know that you can fill up these bottles, you can buy different sizes, y'all have lots of flavors. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so our focus at We Olive is domestic olive oils and balsamic vinegars. The vast majority of the olive oils that we carry are produced in California, and we, going from California to Texas is a much shorter trip than, let's say, having some olive oil cross an ocean. Don't know how long it's been in those containers. We Olive, luckily for us, we've kind of created these relationships with these small producers that help us with our olive oil. So we carry extra virgin olive oil. We carry flavored infused olive oils. We also carry balsamic vinegars. And we've also got some Texas olive oil as well.
Awesome. So what's y'all's favorite flavor that y'all have, or y'all's bestseller?
Oh, I mean, that's a hard question because that's just like
You're like, I can't pick one.
Pick your favorite child.
Yeah.
I will say that we have our Albertina extra virgin olive oil. It's the most versatile olive oil that we have because you could use it as salad dressing, you could use it in sauteing, you could use it in marinating. That's probably our best-selling extra virgin olive oil. As far as our flavored olive oils go, definitely the garlic is a very popular one because it's got a really awesome fresh garlic flavor. But you can't forget about the Meyer lemon olive oil or the basil olive oil. I'm sure there's other olive oils that I'm missing out on, but probably those are the...
I particularly love the jalapeno olive oil. You like a little spice. It's not like, it tastes like fresh pepper in your mouth, but just a little bit of heat on the end, so I love that one.
They all sound really delicious. I'm gonna have like all of them now.
Yes.
So what are y'all's hours? When are y'all open? Are y'all open all week or on the weekends?
Yeah, we're open 7 days a week. For right now, we open 12 to 6 on Sundays, 10 a.m. to 6 on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then the rest of the week we're open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Wednesdays through Saturdays.
Cool, and I see that y'all have a happy hour. I don't think we talked about that, but we talked about the live music. So what kind of happy hour specials do y'all have?
Yeah, so we have all day happy hour Monday and Sunday, and Wednesday through Friday It's from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. It's $3 off our glasses of wine, $2 off beer, and then we have our food specials as well.
So my particular favorite is Wine Wednesday,
Okay.
in which we have a select group of wines that are half off.
Oh, awesome.
There's certain hours on that.
It's all day on Wednesdays.
Wine
Oh, wow.
Wednesday.
So all day Sunday, all day Monday, all day Wednesday.
Yep.
Well, do y'all have Wi-Fi?
We do.
Yes.
Well, I know where I'm working on those days.
Exactly.
Don't tell my boss.
I know. That's what I was just gonna say.
Just kidding. But that's awesome. So if I did need to work, I could work over here and just like
And we do
have
have
some
done it
delicious
before.
food. So what
Yes.
kind of food do y'all serve? And are you the chef?
Yeah, well, I am, but any one of our associates can jump back in the kitchen. Everybody's cross-trained to do it. We've got a really simple menu, but tasty menu, and we feature the olive oils and balsamic vinegars and some of the dips and spreads and sauces that we have in the retail side of the store in our actual menu items that we serve here daily. So we do anything from salads to flatbreads. We've got sandwiches, and probably our most popular item is our cheese and charcuterie.
It's delicious.
Yeah, and it's lunchtime right now, and I'm starving. But so I wanted to know. I know that y'all met in business school, and some people are watching, and they might want to start their own business, and they're trying to figure out how to navigate that. So, what kind of advice would you offer to those people?
Well, I think, with Bauer, like we were such huge fans of Bauer, not only because it brought us together, but because we learned everything that we needed to know to be successful in a small business. I think what was really valuable for us was the business planning process and really kind of stepping through all the details of what was going to be required to own your own business. A good structured plan will help you think through all the details and all the different things that might pop up. And I think that was really the foundation for us getting started off successfully. In addition to, though, I believe, especially given Lewis's experience in the food and beverage arena, has been extremely helpful in terms of our service, the way we lead manage people here. That's maybe a little bit where I can contribute something since I'm on the HR side. But I just think and I think it takes a lot of patience, perseverance, and just flexibility, really, because when it's your own business, it's your baby, you're the only one.
Yes.
And so you got to be prepared to own it,
Yeah.
run it, and every little bit of it along the way.
Yes.
So I have a couple of questions. I know you said that y'all have a passion for food, but why olive oil? Because there's so many areas of food you could go into, bread, all sorts of areas. So what was it about olive oil?
Well, I probably, like most people, even Amber and I were like most people, like before we even got involved in the olive, we purchased our olive oil from the store, like most people do. And really, once we got into investigating this as a business, and we tried some of the olive oils and the balsamic vinegars that we would sell, it was a totally different in terms of complexity of flavors, and it was there where it was like, okay, this is just not regular stuff. And so our customers really don't mind, because our olive oil costs a little bit more than what you would get at a normal grocery store. So our customers, they don't mind paying a little bit more for something that's quality olive oil. All of our olive oils have been certified by the California Olive Oil Council, so that means that it's fresh, it's authentic olive oil. It's authentic, and it's been certified as extra virgin. So, and that when you're drinking extra or you're using extra virgin olive oil, then you know that all the health benefits that come from using extra virgin olive oil are actually there for what you pay for. So
Could I add on to that too? Because I think, we were saving and we know we want to do something, and we're looking at all these different options. It could be a franchise, it could be starting our own business, it could be, and we're looking at all these different things. The thing that I think when I saw this one that really attracted me to it is, number one, the health benefits. So, we could have done a pizza concept, and then I'm like, okay, when I think about me, my lifestyle, my family, like what's important to me, like I want something that's healthy, that I feel good about, and that I feel comfortable like talking about and selling, I guess, in some way. And also, I think the other piece of it is the education component. With both the wine as well as the olive oil, we have this like tremendous opportunity to talk to people and be like, hey, these are the benefits, this is where it was grown, this is why it tastes different than this one, try it, taste it, let me answer your questions. That engagement with people, those are the things that for me, when I saw this concept, I was like, wow, that fits me personally, my interests, and kind of the contribution you want to make, and so those two things are kind of what lit me up when I saw what you call it.
Right, when you go to the grocery store, you can't, and you see a new salsa, you can't open up a jar of salsa and try it.
Yeah, you're just kind of like based on the label. You're just like, what does the label say?
And so everything here in our store is available to sample. So that's, everything from the olive oil to, hey, if we have a bottle of wine open, we'll give you a little splash of wine
Make sure you like
just
it.
to make sure that you like it.
Yeah.
And that's unless someone is offering you a sample at the grocery store or wherever, you're not going to typically get that, but you can get that here. And I think that's an advantage, a competitive advantage that we have over going to a normal place to buy olive oil or wine.
And then you mentioned y'all been in business for about 4 years. And aside from COVID probably being the biggest hurdle any business owner has ever faced, what was probably one of your biggest struggles in getting, you mentioned going to California, meeting all this, I mean, that's a huge undertaking. So what would you consider one of your biggest struggles in the beginning, and how did you overcome that?
Well, I would say really, let's see, June, July, August, 3 months after we opened, there was the hurricane.
Yes.
And Harvey.
Got water in the store.
Oh my gosh.
And so, and so when we opened, we wanted to focus on the neighborhood, the community. We didn't take out these big, advertisements, even on social media or whatever. And then, just as we were starting to get going, we had the hurricane happen, and as first-time business owners, it was crazy, it was stressful, and so, which ultimately helped us, during this past, that experience actually helped us with this winter storm that happened. And so we were able to kind of, I was able to kind of react, both of us were able to react and pivot based on, we knew what would happen with the loss of power and, getting here and stuff like that. But so that, I would say that would be, it was that challenge of having a hurricane 3 months after we opened, or a hurricane like that, it was devastating, but it was also a good lesson learned that has helped us
weather these other storms that we're
Literally weathering storms.
And my last question, because it's kind of funny, because my husband and I, theoretically, we say we would love to work together, but no. So
Listen, there's division of responsibility here.
okay, so I was gonna say, how does that work?
So Lewis, really, it's his business. He's here day to day. He's managing the staff, the inventory, paying the bills, doing all of that every single day. I like to call myself business development. So I have a full-time position downtown, right? But what I think I am good at is, because I'm out in the community, I'm involved in a lot of different things, is drawing people in and being able to, hopefully contribute to folks being interested in the concept, wanting to come in, try it out. I like to hang out. I like to visit with the regulars. So I think that's maybe my little contribution. And maybe drinking the wine.
You're like, I'm doing research.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, is there anything else that you want to share with our viewers? Maybe some unique product that they have to try, or anything that you want them to know before we let them
We
go?
have a truff. This is my personal favorite thing in the store.
I saw that when
I'm
I
just
walked
saying,
in.
if you're a truffle fan, this hot sauce is divine. And in fact, it was just recently listed as one of Oprah's favorite things. That was what, year before last year? I don't know, but all I know is that this on eggs or French fries will change your life. It's delicious. I could drink it out of the bottle.
Oh, let me have a straw.
We can get you a taste.
Yeah, so I wanted to thank y'all so much for having us in your place. It's so beautiful, and I can't wait to come in here and try it myself. I'm gonna bring some friends for sure. I want to sit out on the patio because the weather is just so beautiful right now. And if y'all are ever in the area in the Houston Heights, make sure that you come and visit them and check them out. Their information is going to be below. So check them out, come and visit, have some taste, come and meet them. They're going to be here hanging out. So trying wine. All right. Well, thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
For Procrastination Week, we hope you have time to watch this video. If not, come back and watch it later.
What's up, Tejas?
What's up, Tejas?
It's me,
And
Trina.
me, Jenny.
Today we are talking about National Good Samaritan Day, which is March 13th.
Which is when? Tomorrow?
No.
Saturday?
Saturday.
Friday? Saturday?
Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
March 13th.
Yes.
Good Samaritan Day.
So I guess this day, Jenny had brought it up, and then I was thinking, this is really difficult for me to talk about because I don't really know like a time when I've been a good Samaritan. And Jenny thought that, that was kind of funny. But what I was thinking was that a lot of people nowadays, they do like a good Samaritan, like a good deed, and they're like recording themselves, right? So they're like, oh my God, like look at me, I'm feeding this homeless person here.
I am clearly not the homeless person.
And I just think that, when a true good Samaritan does something, they don't have to go and
Broadcast it.
Yeah, they definitely don't. And so it was really hard for me to like think of a time when I've been a good Samaritan.
And didn't broadcast it.
Right. Wait. No. No, it was hard for me to think of a time when I've been a good Samaritan because I don't really like hold on to that and think like, oh, let me save this. Let me put it in my memory bank for like when I need to save it for Good Samaritan Day. So.
But did you know about Good Samaritan Day?
I
Because
had-
now you probably.
No, I had no idea about Good Samaritan Day, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna forget about it. I mean, unless like.
Not because she has a cold heart of cold, because.
Oh Lord. Anyway. No, I did think of a time though, whenever I was a Good Samaritan not too long ago, and everybody knows that since you're watching this channel, I'm assuming that you're from Texas or you wish you lived here, so you've done your research, but Texas has some crazy weather. And so maybe a couple of months ago, it was a beautiful 75-degree morning. I wake up, I go to the makeup store, and then I see this guy out there, and the weather dropped from 75 to like 50. And so I see this guy outside, and he's like, excuse me, do you have a blanket? I'm like, no, I don't know about y'all, but I do not carry a blanket in my car. Maybe I should, because you never know.
Maybe I should.
Actually, you're like a survivalist. I'm sure you have a ton of blankets.
You don't know me, you don't know my life.
But I was like, I'm sorry, I don't have a blanket, but I live down the street. I can go get you one. But I went home, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I have really personal attachments to my blankets. They all have a story, which I don't know if I'm just a weirdo or if
That's
everybody's
another
like
segment.
that. So I was like, let me just go to Target and buy this guy my favorite blanket, the fluffy ones, like yours, your UGG one that I'm
Not sponsored by UGG, but UGG, we're coming for you.
Yes, and I use it when she doesn't know because she's very territorial.
I am very territorial. And now I'm going to go get a dry cleaner for my UGG.
So I got him the fluffy blanket, and then I went to go take it to him, and he was gone. And so I was like, where did this guy go? So I started driving around for like 15 minutes looking for this guy.
Dedication.
And then I'm very dedicated, yes. So then I find him. He's coming up from the little bridge over there, like, and I was like honking my horn, and I'm like holding the blanket out the window, and I'm like, excuse me, I got your blanket. And he was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And then like me overthinking things, I was like, I'm sorry, it's white. I didn't mean to get you white, but they only had pink, and like I don't even know if you like pink. So
Homeless dude's looking at her like, okay, crackhead.
He really was. He was like, okay, it's fine. Like, I will make it work. Thank you.
Right? Because I'm homeless.
And then I was like, okay, bye. Yeah, but that was like my last time that I think I was a good Samaritan. What about you?
I don't have a time that I was a good Samaritan. I can't remember.
No, you do. When you took me in to your house.
Oh, that's right.
During the winter storm.
Yes, during the winter storm
Yeah.
of 2021. Was it 2021?
Oh, Lord. It was like 2 weeks ago. Winter storm.
Way back in the 19.
Way back
18.
last week.
Yes, anyway, so yes, I guess, but I don't even think of that as like a good Samaritan because it's easy to help those that are close to us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Till next time, that's all, y'all.